Hello everyone, I'm Coyote Jack, and I I am impressed that Baradar actually got an interview with the guy from this company, Sankaku Games. I'm going to read you the headline. Baradar interviews Benjamin Widowson from Susaku Games on being cancelled, the state of modern gaming and Surangama. So Susaku Games. So in this interview, YouTube personality Baradarks interviews Benjamin Winston of indie game development company Susaku on the state of modern gaming, being unsuccessfully cancelled in 2019, and his upcoming game Surangama. So they're not going to start with the fucking cancel culture, not only from the fucking pathetic pieces of shit from the Wokies that are on social media 24/7. The game journalists doing hit piece articles and trying to make them bend the knee. If you bend the knee, you are going to end up like that guy from Splitgate 2. So, yeah, lessons to be learned. So, gamers have increasingly turned indie games in search for fresh, innovative experiences. These titles are often the product of creators who aren't constrained by rigid budgets or corporate content mandates. I think it's more the second one in play. More creative freedom and expression. But yeah, even with the budget, you have to keep in mind how you're spending it. But let's continue. But instead, fueled by passions, creativity, and desire to break new ground. In 2015, excuse me, 15, nah, in current year 2025, the impact of indie developers is undeniable. Repo was developed by a small team of just 10 people that has surpassed 13 million copies sold. Likewise, Schedule 1 has achieved impressive success with over 8 million units sold. And this is important because with the success, oh, but he's not making Call of Duty numbers. But while the budget is less, is in games with even is possible like almost zero budget and selling at least 1 million copy. It's a fucking success. In that, you think that for a second, because games that are delivering have something new to offer or something or more of the stuff that it was used to be delivered in the past. Yeah, they're going to make the money. All that money goes to the developers, are future funding for future games they're going to make, and nothing that goes to fucking greedy ass corpus and overbloated executives. Yeah, the fucking bureaucracy and the pyramidal scheme is being removed at source level. So let's continue here. So these milestones highlight a clear trend. Players are actively seeking alternatives to mainstream offerings of industry giants such as EA, Boogie or the Big Three. It's the dedication, ambition, and independent developers that continue to breathe new life into gaming landscape. That's why I believe it's essential to spotlight as many of them as possible. Yeah, and also I have to say, if there is some indie out there that actually gives you what you want, well, you could support them. Not like immediately or at least after you are verified that you it's trustworthy. Yeah, even at a discount, still, if you want to support the stuff that you like, yeah, you should do it. Well, let's continue. Ah, these fucking pop-up ads. Well, excuse me there. So in this interview, I'll be speaking with Benjamin Wisdom from with Dawson, excuse me, from Susaku, a studio founded by a husband and a wife team I know since their attempted and failed cancellation in 2019. Oh, they hate married couples. Heterosexual married couples. Yeah, I know it's a bad joke, but they even tend to attack people like that. They're disgusting, man. So let's continue. Baradark, tell everyone a bit about yourself. How you got into the game development founding of your studio? And Benjamin said, "My name is Benjamin, and I'm the co-owner of Susaku, with my wife Kaji. In high school, I only had three real hobbies: drawing, video games, and martial arts. Well, getting in good shape. My dream was to move to Japan and work for one of the greats as a character designer in Ninja Tech or Koei Tecmo has always been my dream company, especially, but I have been happy anywhere to be honest. I will spend pretty much all day during school and at home creating characters in my sketchbook while watching obscure anime I had torrented or DVDs bought on eBay from definitely not bootleg shops in Hong Kong. Oh boy, so I went to college, and because concept art was not a major you could do at SCAD, I I tinkered around in film for a year and then jumped at all illustrations to get my degree while hanging out with the games design students. I landed my contractor job in 2013 and with a Hopa studio working with Big Fish games, where I had worked on tons of projects, most of which were released, but in total 18 different titles. So yeah, getting that experience. Even some developers do that. I at this point, even with AAA, I don't think that's even possible creating some experience from that, because think if we think rationally with the far left infested industry, the way how they handle things, yeah, you're going to learn only how to do the AI bullshit, and yeah, for around that time, yeah, it's going to be not a very good wasting your lifetime in AAA as a developer and designer working there, especially when designers get stumped if they try to do some sexy female there. You know, we have seen that many times, but well, let's continue because this is long. I learned a lot as a concept artist, game designer, and writer there. In 2017, I was let go due to a lack of work and was having a hard time finding the next job in the AAA industry. Kaji convinced me to take 6 months off and make my own game. Well, very a very good wife there, which eventually turned into a sense a cyberpunk ghost story, and ended up kickstarting the game successfully, and Kyle became an official partner. I remember this game perfectly. I remember the fucking cancel culture they tried to do only because, yeah, a horror game in a cyberpunk era and with the sexy females being displayed there. Yeah, I remember this one originally released on Steam and then on some consoles. I think it was the Nintendo Switch, if I remember correctly. I don't know right now if it was released in PS4 or Xbox even, which the latter is very doubtful. But yeah, I remember this one. I fucking remember it. And he said, well, go fuck all these fucking cancel culture pigs. Well, not with those words, but you get what I mean. He said, yeah, they fuck those idiots, and he even offered a discount for this game to everyone to try it. Oh yeah, he actually made a lot of goodwill here. Yeah, I remember this one. So Vara Dark. Patience, persistence, and a little push from your partner make for a great story. Since then, Susaku has released 3 games and has more on the horizon. What have been the major inspirations behind your work and the studio's creative direction? And Benjamin responds, the ethos of the studio from the beginning was the merger of East and West. Kaji is from Hong Kong, and with me being American, means we get to take inspirations from our unique backgrounds and culture. Hey, it's important to take inspiration from anything. However, I'm also a bit of a Japaноphile, primarily for ancient Japanese history and folklore, but also obviously love anime and games. Hong Kong is also a place where you can't go 20 feet without anime and pop culture showing up, so we are able to find a lot of common influences and ideas seen through our different lenses. So this is one, yeah, what from a culture that is actually interesting. Take the inspirations and see what it sticks. Well, also this guy had a lot of practice because of all of experience that he gained in AAA development. So continue on. For me to talk beyond Team Ninja Koei Monsters like Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden and of course Fatal Frames, the work and art of Masamune Shiroun is my biggest influence by far. Ghost in the Shell is really my favorite IP ever created, but I also have a lot of love for Dominion, Orion, and Apple Seeds in that order. Good anime recommendations right there. If Shiro wrote or overdrew it, I have it on my shelf. Kajian actually became much closer to my other favorite artist of all time, Shigeru Mizuki, known for GG no Kitaro. We even had our honeymoon in Sekai Minato. Oh man, Totori. Mizuki's work and cataloging of Joka and his art is probably more important to me than even Shiro. Bueno, Shiro. I have been studying and researching Japanese folklore for almost 20 years now, all thanks to him. So, in an industry so often driven by market research and formulaic success, the idea of building a creative identity rooted in folklore, anime, and personal history feels increasingly rare. Many indie developers are doing what major studios once did, drawing from unique cultural and artistic perspectives rather than striving solely to hit quarterly targets, which is that case is true, but also from what we have seen from AAA aside from the DEI and the ESG nonsense that they have been pushing, sadly Japan, like I said, they are AAA is a lost cause. But also look at expression with those designers. They could take inspirations and immediately some mouth breather pieces of shit on social media that say, oh, you are appropriating this character. Oh, you are appropriating this design. Oh, you fucking racist. And all of these fucking buzzwords they always use because they don't have anything better to do in their fucking miserable lives other than being like the fly on a door and now trying to shit on the food. All those designs, yeah, they it's a good mindset. Nowadays, everyone likes anime, even if I know, yeah, anime gone instinct was a mistake. Still, people can take inspiration of that because the style art is likable by a milestone, both in their respective place and here in the West. So this guy say, yeah, I'm doing my research. I enjoying this, and I want to make something that if I enjoy myself, everyone else will gladly enjoy it. Which is this is the correct mindset. So continue on. Baradark, we became acquainted back in 2021 when Saints, a cyberpunk ghost story, angered a group of sensitive individuals on the internet. They were angered by its anime-inspired art style, yeah, just like I said, in which they believed perpetual misogynistic and sexist ideas. Sexist, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Misogynistic, how could I be misogynistic if I want sexy females with big asses, big tits? And sure, there are the ones that like the lolicon content or like the petite types of characters or the lollies with big dicks and asses, which yeah, that's kind of my guilty pleasure there. How can you be misogynistic if you are liking women? Yeah, these fucking morons, they don't know even how to do proper math or logical thinking. So let's continue. The game's publisher, Stop Hat Studios, issued a statement rejecting the censorship demands and said they quote unquote categorically refused to force censorship upon Susaku Games and said our commitment to our audience and to developers is we will never infringe on creative freedom of expression, which is yeah, this is like the phrase I said that they basically told these fucking council pigs to go fuck themselves, which is nice. This is this is what they need to do. all developers, if they are going in this arsa, you want to do yeah, make fan service great again, by all means. Even if you're a Westerner, look at this guy. Even the Arsenal is looking good. And it's important to know what is working, what research you are doing, and see if it sticks, and also testing your game just to see if yeah, because it's even testing your game is something that I am adding extra on top of that because we have seen also some many developers from AAA that when their game crash or they have some dog shit level design they tend to show it. And because hey, how did these fuckers did not test this shit out? And sadly, yeah, I know it could happen to some indies. That's why it's important to test your game and see if it's not breaking. But yeah, from this cancel culture, yeah, they tried to do that. I remember. Look at this. So Benjamin Widowson, since hadn't been out that long, and after, if I recall it, it was the holiday, so I had taken some time off with Kariel to get away from the internet and build some Gunpla. I actually didn't know about it until I saw, I think, your video or Yellow Flash talking about it. Yeah, I remember those two were talking about this issue. I ran to the computer and saw messages and emails about it, and my heart sank. While we did not get much hate directly, other than a few nasty messages, yeah, the death threats on private email, every single time, these fucking pieces of shit. I personally hated their death threat because I don't really care what weird degenerates on the internet says, but they were explicitly wishing and threatening harm. But at that time, Top had already issued a statement and had yet to get around informing me because they were so busy dealing with it. Which is, yeah, it's good that this guy got back up. Yeah, he's gone out his back cover and supported because if they, yeah, at this point, the one that was publishing the game bent the knee in that time. If they did it, or if at any moment during that cancel culture attempt, not only the studio publisher will be the reputation tarnished. This guy also, he will be hated, but by not by the fucking cancel pigs, but by his supporters, his customers. Yeah, and yeah, it's something important. Yeah, you have to get involved with people that if you're going to go in this way and do like double A, yeah, you need people that have your back. Because otherwise, yeah, if there is someone that say, dude, I couldn't handle the situation, so I just bent the knee, I apologize. Oh boy, you're going to get dragged into the mud. So I know this one is too long, but this is the article. Yeah, this is the most important part I really want to talk about. So by that time, yeah, we read that. My role of town when we got the initial run of hate during the Kickstarter was ignore them or professional responding in negative way to their demands, comments, but if they mess with my ability to do businesses, hit back hard. Yeah, and this is important. Yeah, if they want to fuck with my business, yeah, fuck those idiots. Yeah, it's the gloves are off. Yeah, bring it on, bitch. So yeah, this guy actually, yeah, it's delivering a good message with this interview because this is something that a lot of indie developers need to realize. Cancel culture is not as strong as it used to be, thanks to with the political landscape. The far left retards are coping and sitting, but the cancel culture is never going to stop because they are still going to push it on it. The best way you can do is how to handle this situation. Never bending the knee. Do not apologize to those fuckers, and always show support and commitment to your customers. Yeah, basic business practices in this case. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching and please take care.